Cool guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are talking about a series of short films that dropped on Netflix under the title Homemade. So to be completely honest, I had no idea these short films were coming onto Netflix, but I was very pleasantly surprised when I did see that they were on Netflix. This series of short films follow 18 different directors from around the world as they sort of document and make short films about their experience during COVID-19 and during self-isolation and social distancing and all that sort of stuff. So it was very interesting to see what these different directors interpreted that as in their short films. So I was familiar with some of the directors who did some of these short films, but then there were other directors who I wasn't that familiar with, to be honest. And it was very interesting seeing how a director interprets and makes a short film when they're kind of just left to their own devices and they don't have this massive crew or this massive budget to spend on these short films. They're kind of just making it from home and in their own environments and their own surroundings. There are a few of the short films that do sort of have a bit of a crew with them, so like the people who are staying with family, they use some of the family to help make the short film and stuff like that. So there are some short films that aren't completely made by an individual. There are some there's other people who are helping out in the process of making those. So some of the short films aren't completely made by one individual. Some of them do get outside resources to help out, or they use some of the people they're staying in isolation with. But regardless, these short films did still feel really sort of homemade, which obviously fits with the title. The tagline of this whole short film series is that you can watch them in any order, or you can sort of just choose which ones you want to watch. I did watch all of them, and now obviously because it's a whole lot of different directors who are living in different parts of the world, they obviously have different interpretations on what this time meant for them. And some of the directors take a bit more of like a narrative approach where they sort of make a bit of a storyline out of their isolation. Some of the directors rather choose to sort of document the time in isolation. So there are definitely different interpretations in these short films, and it was really nice because it made each short film feel very unique, but at the same time very authentic. I would also say that there are definitely some that stood out for me more than others, and that's not necessarily because of the production value or the equipment that was used. I just definitely did gravitate towards a few of them more than others. I think some of them did just feel really random and I didn't really connect with them that well, but then on the other hand there were some that I really did connect with and I thought were really powerful and moving. Because of the COVID-19 restrictions around the world, it was very interesting seeing how these directors decided to approach that and make a story or a film out of that, and sort of how they made an artwork out of these really weird, difficult times. One of the things that I really liked about this is how low budget they were, and how it was sort of just a director and a few people making these short films. It wasn't this massive crew, and it was really interesting in that regard because like some of these directors who I'm familiar with, and when they have this massive budget and scale and they make these really powerful movies, it was great seeing how they would make a short film if they didn't have all of that, if that makes sense. The one thing I'm definitely curious about is I'm not quite sure how the general audience on Netflix is going to connect with this work and with these short films. I'm not quite sure if there's much of an appeal there for them. I think that some of the bigger names, the bigger name directors on the short film list will definitely appeal more to a general audience, but I'm not quite sure like how many people are going to watch these short films. And I definitely would say there's a lot more of an appeal there for film fans and film fanatics to go ahead and watch these short films. But if you are watching this video, there is a high chance that you are really into film and short films and series and stuff like that, and in that case I highly recommend these short films. As I said, it was great seeing big name directors sort of like make something out of nothing essentially, just with their phones or just with their DSLRs and stuff like that. They sort of just made a short film with what they had around them and with the people they had around them, which is really interesting and unique to see. Another thing that the series of short films did for me was kind of a kick in the backside, because I was like, okay, there are these massive film directors who are stuck in isolation just like myself, and they've made really powerful short films with what they had there. What is my excuse, sort of thing? And I don't know, that was just quite a nice reminder as well that you don't necessarily need all this equipment, all this tech to make powerful films. And I don't know, I really did enjoy seeing this sort of content on Netflix. I think it's quite a nice thing to showcase. As I said, it's nice that all these different short films were completely independent, or at least I felt like it, and they weren't interconnected in any way, besides them all being shot and edited and all that sort of stuff during COVID-19, during this global pandemic we are still in. So yeah, I really enjoyed these short films. I think it was a very interesting approach that each director took. And as I said, it was really nice just seeing how they were able to interpret these events in their own homes. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. There's a lot more stuff dropping onto Netflix tomorrow. I'm going to hopefully get to some of it. But if there is something you're really keen to see me review, let me know in the comments down below, because then I'll make that a top priority. But thank you so much. I'm getting a lot more subscribers over this last couple of weeks, which is great. I think it might be because of Dark, which is awesome because I'm such a huge fan of Dark right now. So yeah, welcome to the channel, and I hope you guys are enjoying the content. Please let me know if there's anything you would like to see in the future. And yeah, I hope you guys keep well and stay safe. Bye bye.